Hello and welcome back to Bombchu Gaming News. My name is Chris and I'll be covering some of the news from this week that we found interesting. But first, a quick reminder, we're streaming multiple times a week over on twitch.tv/BombchuTV, so give us a follow over there as well. Now without further ado, on to the news. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has been delayed indefinitely as a new developer has been assigned to the game. Bloodlines 2 has had a rough go of it since it was first announced back in 2019. First, creative director Kai Clooney and original Bloodlines writer Brian Mitsoda were terminated from the project last July, both unexpectedly according to them. Then in October, it was announced that writer and narrative designer Kara Ellison had left the project as well. After a few more delays from March 2020 to late 2020, and then further delayed into 2021, it was recently announced that the game was being delayed indefinitely. The most recent delay is a result of change in developer for the game, as Hardsuit Labs will no longer be working on Bloodlines 2. In an update posted to the Bloodlines 2 website, publisher Paradox Interactive stated, quote, "We have made the hard decision that Hardsuit Labs will no longer be leading the development of Bloodlines 2, which also means that we will not be releasing in 2021 as previously planned. We'd like to take this opportunity to honor Hardsuit Labs for their efforts and thank them for their hard work on the project. The studio has done a tremendous job in laying the foundations for the game, and we hope that you, the community, will also appreciate their contribution to Bloodlines 2. End quote. They also stated that they would stop accepting pre-orders for the game, although presumably all current pre-orders would still be honored. Bloodlines 2 was a game that I was instantly excited about when it was first announced, and was actually one of the first games I had pre-ordered in many years. However, I did end up canceling that pre-order after Brian Mitsoda was fired, and production on the game seemed to be going poorly, to say the least. While it's hard to say who's at fault without knowing more of the behind-the-scenes details, hopefully the change in development team and a delay to continue work on the game will end up making Bloodlines 2 the sequel that fans really deserve. A Diablo 2 remaster was announced during this year's Blizzcon. Titled Diablo 2 Resurrected, the remaster has been something of an open secret, having been leaked during Blizzard's acquisition of developer Vicarious Visions earlier this year. However, the game has been fully revealed to the public officially, and there are a few important details worth noting. Diablo 2 Resurrected will feature new 3D graphics, higher quality music and sound design, and other general visual and audio improvements you would expect from a modern remaster of a classic game. However, Resurrected is still running on the same source code as the original, and as such, players will have the option to swap to classic graphics at any point. All of the game's cinematic cutscenes are being remade from the ground up, but will still feature the same shots and editing as the originals. According to Rod Ferguson, lead producer on all things Diablo at Blizzard, he stated, quote, "We wanted to take this really dramatic story and take all 27 minutes of the cinematics and remake them from scratch with modern technology and CGI, so it's going to look fantastic. But again, same performances, shot for shot. If it cut from one scene to another in the original, it's going to cut at that same moment in the remake of those videos." End quote. Resurrected will feature all of the same story and content from the original game and its expansion, Lord of Destruction, with most of the mechanics and features all returning as well. Basically, it seems like Blizzard has learned at least a few lessons from the disastrous Warcraft 3 Reforged release. Hopefully, they've learned enough lessons and have the right people in charge to make Diablo 2 Resurrected the remaster that fans deserve. Diablo 2 Resurrected is set to release sometime later this year. Bioware has announced that the Anthem Next update is officially dead. In a blog post from Bioware Austin studio director Christian Daly, they stated, quote, "In the spirit of transparency and closure, we wanted to share that we've made the difficult decision to stop our new development work on Anthem, aka Anthem Next." End quote. Daly went on to blame the decision to stop work on the next update on a few things, including the ongoing pandemic, as well as development on the update being a lot harder than they were expecting. While they did state that Anthem would continue to run and be supported in its current state as a live service game, the cancellation of the Next rework and no future updates or changes coming to the game effectively means the death of Anthem in general. Most of the team has been seemingly reassigned to working on other projects at Bioware, including the next Dragon Age and Mass Effect titles. While it is sad to see support for any game dropped, as I'm sure there are still at least a few hardcore Anthem fans out there, this isn't exactly the most surprising news, as Anthem has had fundamental problems since before it even launched. I wasn't a fan of the overall Anthem experience, but I was still looking forward to see how the game was going to change and evolve. However, this announcement doesn't just bring bad news for Bioware fans. According to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, EA has allowed Bioware to remove all multiplayer and live service features from the upcoming Dragon Age 4, and instead focus on the game's single-player experience. This shift in focus was a direct result of the success of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and the previously mentioned failure of Anthem as a live service game. So while Anthem dies, the possibility for new life has been breathed into Dragon Age 4, bringing new hope to fans of Bioware, as well as fans of single-player experiences and games. And those are the headlines that caught our eye for this week. Make sure you let us know your thoughts on the news in the comments below, and we'll see you again next week. A huge shout out and thank you to Michael Slater, Blake Harms, and all of our other glorious patrons over on Patreon. Your support is what makes shows like this one possible. Thanks for watching.